Hello and welcome to the Virtual Racing League's Round 2 of the playoffs, live tonight from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Race number 2 in Round 2. Some drivers looking to lock themselves in to the championship finale coming up in just a couple weeks. We want to welcome you here to V-Speed, to the broadcast tonight. It's going to be a good one, and let's run through our points coming into tonight's race. We bring him up here. Connor Horn, who you see out there on your screen, he leads the points with 6 wins to his name this season, so good points advantage over the cut line. And so as long as Connor gets a solid finish here tonight and next week, he should be pretty well set to advance to that finale. Alec Martinez, also pretty good cushion. He's going to look for a win here tonight to try and lock himself in. But Vincent Arthur, you can see his name in green on the list there. He won last week at Bristol. A fantastic finish between himself and Keith Mayato, coming right down to the wire. And he ran a great race to capture that win and lock himself into the finale. So he'll be finishing in the top 4 in points no matter what happens in these next couple races. Jeff Wright there, right above the cut line. Dylan Parker, Adam Cabot tied 4 points below the cut line, and then Yusuf Ghali, AJ Stravato, both 8 points down there below the cut line, even though they both have wins, not getting the points they needed last week. As the drivers wrapping up their practice session, they are going to be headed to qualifying, and looks like there's going to be some pretty solid multi-groove racing here tonight at Homestead, Miami Speedway. You can see the overhead view of the track. We bring up some track info for you. If you're not familiar with the Homestead Miami Speedway, it's a very unique 1.5 mile that NASCAR brings the Cup Series to. Rather than having a tri-oval type of formation, it is just a pure oval. And it is progressive banking, so the lower you run, the less banking there is, but the higher you are towards the wall, the more there is to help you. And it can be a very fast racetrack and can provide very exciting racing, and has been the home to the season finale of the Cup Series, or was the home for decades, and for good reason. Provides some of the best racing of any of the 1.5 mile tracks. It's going to be 125 laps here tonight, 187.5 miles, and we are going to have a stage at lap number 40, and points on the line for the top 5 at the end of that stage. But going to be a fun one here to see what these guys can do, who can capitalize on that stage break. As right now we're looking at Eli Hinton, who brings his car out of turn number 4 very sideways, trying to hang on to it, keeps it off the wall. It looks like he's going to lock it down here and reset to try and get a better lap time. So close call there for Eli, as it looks like Chris Samard not getting a lap time in. Trying to see. Oh, it looks like Eric Hutton going to be the first one to get a lap time in, a 31.87. I think that's going to be flat out pretty much around this racetrack. So should be some pretty exciting racing. The practice right before this is Taylor Butcher Benjamin goes to the top, that number 1 Napa Auto Parts Camaro. Yeah, the practice session, we saw these guys basically pack racing, trying to get a feel for what it's like to be around other cars. Is Alec Martinez to the top of the board, the number 18 Nexus Esports Toyota Camry. And only 4 drivers have put a time in. Chris Samard on the track. Looks like he's coming around and try and get his lap up there as he gets very sideways. Looks like turn 4 is going to be an issue for the drivers here tonight, as he is able to lock it down and will attempt to reset here. Looks like Jeremy Miller utilizing the high line. As he goes to start his first lap, we'll ride on board with Jeremy here for just a moment. speak of the Magic Man, he goes to second on the board, and let's see if he can improve. It looks like he's going to call it there. It's Jeremy Miller coming out of turn number 4. No issues with stability for the number 30. He comes across the line. That'll be good for 5th fastest to 31.81. Just about 2/10 off the leader's time. As you can see how sideways he got right there. So he's going to call it. And Jeremiah Vincent looking to improve on his time. And number 8 machine. You can see that car pretty wobbly through the corner, but he's able to keep it pointed in the right direction. He will improve his time to a 32 flat. Not going to improve his qualifying position, however, as a few other drivers. Jeff Wright coming across the line there. He's going to be good for 3rd fastest. And number 48 machine, Jeff looking for a solid run here tonight. He's going to try and improve on that lap time. He's got about a tenth and a half that he's going to have to gain to try and get the pole. Looks like he's starting to get sideways, and he's going to slam the wall. Not going to be able to improve. Here comes Elliott Butler, as he's going to suffer probably, nope, able to hang on to a good piece of driving there. Not going to improve his lap time, though, is Ben Baffert, who was fastest in the practice session. I believe not going to make it to the line for the hot lap. Nope, he will not make it. So your field going to be set as you see it there. Let's go through our starting lineup for tonight's race. Starting on the pole, it is Alec Martinez, the number 18 machine, who comes in second in points. He's looking to capture a victory here tonight and lock himself into the finale. Connor Horn, with 6 wins on the season, he's looking to do the same and capture the 7th victory of the season as he rolls off on the front row here alongside Alec. In row number 2, it's going to be Adam Cabot, the Magic Man, and the number 77 rolling off 3rd. Jeff Wright going to be rolling off in the 4th position alongside him. Dylan Parker starting in 5th position. Taylor Butcher Benjamin going to be starting in 6th. Rolling off 7th, it'll be AJ Stravato, who's looking to climb out of the points hole that he is in, starting in 7th here tonight. Jeremy Miller going to be rolling off in the 8th position. Eric Hutton starting in 9th. Vincent Arthur, last week's winner, going to be rolling off in the 10th position. Elliott Butler going to be starting in 11th here tonight. Eli Hinton starting in the 12th position. Jeremiah Vincent, last of the qualifiers with a 32 flat, going to be rolling off 13th here tonight. Yusuf Ghali to his outside in 14th. Ben Baffert going to be starting in 15th position. Keith Mayato starting in 16th here tonight. Chris Samard going to be rolling off in 17th, and Lane Sulfridge starting in 18th position. Rounding out the field here, 19 drivers in tonight's race. Lyle Sulfridge, the number 70 machine, rolling off in 19th position. So we wait for them to all get onto the pit lane. Alec Martinez is going to get him rolling here. Let us know who you are cheering for in tonight's race. We know we've got some Magic Man fans out there, but let us know who you're cheering for. We will give them a shout out, give you a shout out, and try and follow along with them throughout the race. 19 drivers. I don't expect a lot of carnage, but we saw how difficult it was to make progress and make passes in the practice session. Thank you, Marcus Emerson, for the subscription 2 months in a row. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for coming out tonight. Hope you enjoy the broadcast. This pace car making its way through turns 3 and 4. We are about to get underway here from Homestead Miami Speedway. Round number 2 of the Virtual Racing League playoffs. Race number 2 in that round. As green flag in the air, Alec Martinez gets him going here at Miami. Great jump by the 18. He's going to get out in front by a couple of car lengths. They fight for second. Oh, Connor Horn nearly losing control into turn number 1. We've got cars spinning and sliding. That's Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Jeremiah Vincent already out of control. Maybe some damage on a couple vehicles back there as they head down into 3 and 4. Connor Horn fighting alongside Adam Cabot. They come out of turn number 4. It is Alec Martinez leading lap number 1. We'll bring up the ticker here so you can follow along with your favorite driver. But Connor Horn working that outside line. AJ Stravato back here in the middle of all of this. Eli Hinton to the outside of Eric Hutton. So already side-by-side battling going on. Is look at that. Here comes the 77 and the 42 right to the bumper of the 18. Martinez throws the block on Cabot as he slides a little ways up the racetrack. Here comes Connor Horn with the crossover move. Down on the inside, can he carry the momentum? As the 77 going to get a bit of draft from the 18. They stay side by side for second position as Alec Martinez continues to show the way. And they race their way down the back straightaway, still side by side for that second spot. And we're trying out some new camera views here as they roll into 3 and 4. We've got about 9 cars in a pack, and then Keith Mayato all by himself in 10th position leads a couple more stragglers, but quite a distance back to some of these race cars. You can see Mayato there. We take a look a little farther back. Lane Sulfridge, Vincent Arthur, Lyle Sulfridge, Chris Simard, all towards the back of the pack. Oh, contact there, Ben Bafford around. No caution, but Chris Simard, heavy contact. Now the caution comes out as Bafford takes it straight to the pit lane. Caution already on the racetrack. Let's go back and see what happens with Ben and it looked like Jeremy Miller. As they were coming out of turn number 2, oh, big contact between the 30 and the 23, and then Chris Simard just nowhere to go. Disaster for Bafford and Miller. And then Chris Simard, you can see the impact right there, heavy impact. See if we can get a look at it from inside of Chris Simard's car. He was going down the racetrack. 23 turned back to the left, and Chris just nowhere to go. So that's gonna put a big damper on the 37's night here. There's multiple drivers involved. Everybody bringing it down the pit lane except for Mr. Connor Horn, who takes over the top spot. Alec Martinez had shown the way, and he will slide into his pit box here. We'll see if anybody tries any kind of strategy. Yes, sir. Stage is lap number 40. As Alec Martinez wins that battle off of pit road. Connor Horn may come in here. I'm not sure. He's probably just looking for the bonus point for leading a lap. Just to add to his margin. We saw how loose he got down into turn 1. I think some fresh tires. Actually, I'm not sure if the fresh tires aren't maybe more difficult to get going on. We'll see what Connor does here as we work under caution number 1. And now he does bring it down the pit lane, so the 42 going to surrender the lead. Alec Martinez will take that position back away. Connor going to go all the way to the back of the pack. Chris Simard still sitting on the pit lane, attempting to get the nose put back on that race car, but heavy damage. Jeremy Miller is taking it behind the wall. Ben Bafford still on the pit lane as well. He towed it there instantly during that wreck to get it out of the way of the rest of the field. possibly shades of what we'll see throughout the race tonight. Drivers just getting loose and collecting each other while racing side by side. We're going to have to see if these guys can figure it out as the track cools down, and we actually should take a look at the temperatures. It's not very slick out here, 80-degree track temp with a 79-degree air temp, so potentially just the setup, not the actual track conditions. And Jeremy Miller has been disqualified is what I'm hearing. So what we may have seen there would have been a bit of retaliation for something possibly earlier this season, or earlier even in this event. Jeremy Miller out of the race, disqualified. Take a look back at the front. Pace car lights are off, so we're going to be going green this time. And we are left now with 16 drivers on the lead lap. End of stage 1 going to be coming at lap 40. It's the field working their way down the backstretch. Martinez going to have control of this restart. Alongside him, the Magic Man Adam Cabot. We'll see if he can do anything here. Don't forget to check us out on all of our social media accounts there, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, to get race updates before we go live each and every week. You can also check us out on YouTube, where we post race replays. The Bristol race can be up right after this race. As pace car onto pit lane, Alec Martinez gets him going once again. Green flag in the air here from Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll see if these guys can go a little bit longer here towards the end of the stage to head down into turns 1 and 2. Martinez out in front all by himself, and behind him, Jeff Wright looking to the inside of Adam Cabot in the 77. They make their way down the back straightaway. Martinez still strong run out in front, but here comes Cabot looking to the outside, almost alongside. As 18 a little wiggle there, 77 a wiggle. Everybody's wiggling. Jeff Wright down on the apron. And it is going to be difficult here tonight is what it's looking like. So potentially just a race of survival. Headed down the back straightaway. A little bit of a crank it up cam here. They make their way through 3 and 4. Connor Horn already slicing and dicing his way through the field. You can see him right there behind Keith Mayato. Keith, a great race last week at Bristol. He charged through the field and nearly won the race. He's all over the back bumper of Jeff Wright. Here goes Connor down to the inside, though. Connor with an interesting strategy last week. Actually pitted later than everyone else. Came back from 2 laps down to only about 3 seconds behind the top 2 to finish on the podium. So a great race by Connor as he makes his way up into the top 10 now. Eric Hutton under pressure from Jeff Wright. And at the front, Adam Cabot trying to get the nose out in front. He is alongside the 18 of Martinez. Oh, as they make their way out of turn 2. Very tight racing there. The 77 of Cabot nearly drifting up. And the 13 of Hinton slowly reeling them in. It's 18 Martinez, a wiggle there. He nearly caught the wall. Great racing for the lead. The 77 looking to try and make that pass down low. You can see how difficult it is to keep the car down there. As here comes Hinton with the draft from the 18. Almost in the picture now. As they dive it into 3 and 4 once again. These two very equal. Very strong as the 77 with a good run down low. Still trying to get the nose out in front. Unable to do so. And here comes Stravato looking to try and take over that 3rd position. It looked like Martinez maybe brushed the wall down into turn number 1. As he actually does lose the lead for a moment. And Chris Samard back on the racetrack out in front of these guys, so they're going to be coming up on him pretty quickly. The 77 still trying to make his way around. Martinez trying to hang on to that race car while keeping his foot to the floor, and Cabot going to lead that lap. What a battle for the top spot here between the 18 and the 77. Out of turn number 2, Cabot with an advantage. As they make their way down the back straightaway, they're still side by side. Everybody else single file. Cabot really diving in there. 18 trying to pinch him down as much as possible. The 77 says, I'll take what you're going to give me. Still going to work with it here. As we see Mayato looking to the inside of Hutton. Back in the pack. Oh, nearly contact there as Cabot really pushing the issue down low. The 18 of Martinez not giving that up so easily. What a battle. And there's a little brush again by Martinez, but no harm done. He still maintains the top spot out of turn number 4. Cabot trying to take that lead away. Eli Hinton right here in third. Let's go on board with him. As he fights to try and take the top spot as well. Right here trailing these top 2. You can see a little bit of correction in the steering. Kind of sounds a little bit floaty. Like the car is not really in the racetrack. So Hinton fighting the same things that the leaders are as they race side by side. He's all by himself, so doesn't have to worry about hitting anyone. As wow, Cabot so close to the 18 on the exit of the corner. Down into turn 3, the 18 of Martinez is going to take that spot away. He'll shut the door on the 77 of Cabot, who will drop into second in line there. Here comes Connor Horn looking to the inside of Jeff Wright. And he's bringing Keith Mayato along with him. The 36 and the 42. Both finished on the podium last week. Looking like they could have the speed to do so once again. And Vincent Arthur, last week's winner, back here in 11th position. Vincent, right around where he started, not making a whole lot of progress. But we saw kind of the same thing from him, where he moved towards the front and then ran away with it. We'll see if he's just saving his stuff here early on. Gonna try and push the issue a little bit later. As things heating up back here, Dylan Parker, Eli Hinton, Elliott Butler, all mixing it up. And at the front, the battle is on once again, and we're stacked up 2 by 2. 3 rows deep, and the 33 is Stravato. You can see him wheeling that race car on the outside. He takes third position away. And Eli Hinton starting to fall as he goes back to the 5th position. Here comes the 9 of Parker taking the 4th spot away. And this is exciting stuff. The 42 of Connor Horn making his way up through here. Keith Mayato underneath Jeff Wright now. He's not able to make that work, but Connor Horn still fighting down low. You can see he's got good drive in the center of the corner and a good drive on the exit. He's going to be halfway out in front of Butler. The whole field under a blanket here. You can see everybody just in this shot. It's pretty wild. Estravato to second. He goes out in front of Cabot. Going to try and take the lead from Martinez. As Dylan Parker, big dive into turn 3 underneath the 77. He gets a good run on the exit. Looking to try and take 3rd position away. We have Aronis saying the 13 or the 33 is going to win, so that's Stravato or Hinton. Stravato second, Hinton currently fifth. Under attack from Connor Horn as the 42 continues to claw his way through the field after staying out an extra lap under the caution. He's looking to get back in the top 5 here. And Cabot going the wrong way. He's back to 4th. Gives a tap to the number 9 machine. But you can see how much slower he is in the center. Then Connor Horn in the 77 just can't get the turn down in the center. Here goes Connor Horn past the 13. Big run now alongside the 77. Keith Mayato right there behind him. Those two moving through the field, and Eli Hinton looking like he's going to go 3 wide, but nowhere to go with that run as the 77 slides up the racetrack. Connor Horn back into 5th position, fighting for 4th. And at the front, Alec Martinez still hanging on to this spot. And it's going to get harder and harder for everyone to catch him as he hangs on to the lead. You can see him trying to break the draft there. 1 car length the gap between himself and Dylan Parker. And the 9 gets a big shove down into the corner. And he is all over the back bumper of Martinez. And he gets loose. Here comes Dylan Parker to the inside. Stravato falling into the clutches of Connor Horn. As Dylan Parker, big dive down into the corner there. He's getting a great drive through the center. And it looks like he might take this position away. Can't tell if he's cleared him just yet. He's trying to get up there. Not clear. So the 18 comes back around the outside. Thank you for following Ben Bafford. Sorry about your luck there in the opening laps. As the 9 of Dylan Parker still fighting for this lead. He's got the spot, but he doesn't have the 18 cleared just yet, and he's working so hard. Connor Horn now in the mix, and the 18, a big wiggle there. That might be enough to give up the lead, as here comes the 42 with a push. Still not clear of the 18. And now Dylan Parker gonna claim the top spot. Here comes Connor Horn down on the inside. Keith Mayato up to 4th. He's taking that away from Stravato. Mayato looks to the inside now, going to follow Connor Horn as he's done this entire run. Connor, a big dive down into the corner here. Dylan Parker needs the points as he's on the outside looking in. He's 4 points outside. This stage win, if he can hold on to it here for another 12 laps or so, it's going to award him a bonus of 5 points, and that would be huge. It could also signify he's got the speed to win the race as Connor Horn takes over 2nd spot. Here comes Keith Mayato looking to take 3rd away from Martinez, but he's going to have a tough battle as they've all lined up on the high side. Mayato gonna be tough sledding down low there as he gets right up alongside Alec Martinez. 18 slides up the racetrack, and here comes the 36 with the run down low. Not able to carry the speed down the front straightaway, but he continues to fight on that low line. Stravato, Jeff Wright, Eli Hinton dropped all the way back to 7th, and Adam Cabot, who was in 2nd place battling for the lead, back to the 8th spot. Like Yusuf Ghali with some right side damage on his race car from early on in this race. And he's back here in the 12th spot, not where he wants to be. Luckily, he's got a stage break to try and get that damage repaired, but pretty heavy right front damage on the 54. Dylan Parker trying to hang on to this. He's got a hard charging Connor Horn, who came from the back of the pack after the caution, and he's up to 2nd fighting to try and take this stage win away. Under 10 to go. Dylan Parker needs to pick up the pace a little bit. Connor Horn is closing in. Fastest car on the track was Stravato, the 33, just barely faster than your top 2 as Keith Mayato still trying to complete the pass on Alec Martinez. Looking for some bonus points here in the stage and trying to get that track position before we get to the yellow as he goes into the corner. The 18's so good on turn entry down there in 3 and 4, but he's obviously cooked the tires a little bit as here comes Mayato. Big run on the bottom. He'll have the position at the line, but not able to complete it as Connor Horn tries to complete the pass here for the lead. Dylan Parker going to fight him off. With a 42, a nice run out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, side by side. You got to be so careful when you're racing that close together. One little bobble, and that means the end of both of your races. As Connor Horn, big dive into turn 1. Dylan Parker, does he cross him over here? He's trying to, not able to get down low. Big bump there in the middle of the corner. And Connor Horn takes the lead away. Dylan Parker not able to get back underneath. Now he goes underneath. And a big slide into the corner here, nearly contact. As they're both wiggling, Keith Mayato closing in. And you'd think they would be racing for the win here, the way they're going back and forth. This is absolutely wild stuff. As Connor Horn is taking the top spot away out of turn number 2. He has that lead all to himself, and the car length now the gap 1 car length between himself and Dylan Parker. That 9 car still trying as hard as he can, and he's brought Keith Mayato up to him. But one little wiggle from any of these guys, we still have 6 cars under a blanket. Wiggle from any single one of them could change the outcome of this stage dramatically. Mayato looking to the inside. Dylan Parker needs these points. He's losing them every time he gets past. This is still going to be really good for him if he can hang on to second, but Mayato very strong on this run. He's come all the way from the back along with Connor Horn. And Alec Martinez, your pole sitter, still hanging on to the top 5 in the 4th position. But he's got Stravato all over the back bumper, and Jeff Wright is there as well. The 33 looks to the inside. Big move here on the back straightaway. Can he complete the pass on this end of the racetrack? A good run there. You can see Alec Martinez, big wiggle. He's been struggling on the exit of 4. That's the fight for the last couple of points in the stage. Oh, Stravato nearly made contact. He had to get out of the throttle. And here comes Jeff Wright to the outside as Mayato looks like he is taken second away. Dylan Parker going to try and come back underneath. Doesn't look like it's going to happen though, as Mayato big run into the corner. See, he's chasing that race car all the way up the racetrack. And he is going to be able to clear the 9. And shut the door there on Dylan Parker. Can he get to Connor Horn and challenge him for the stage win? They're going to have one more lap next time around, but this is a big battle back here. Jeff Wright, AJ Stravato, both of them looking for stage points, and now Jeff Wright in that 5th position. A battle back here as well. Yusuf Ghali up to the 8th position. Even with the right front damage, very strong in the 54. But towards the front here, Keith Mayato, Connor Horn fighting for the stage win. Connor has the position. Keith closing in. I don't think he's going to have the time to get there. He might have one chance at a pass. Not going to be close enough. Looks like Connor Horn's going to win stage 1 as long as he can keep it together. Out of turn 4, he will. He will take that stage. So congratulations to Connor Horn adding to his playoff points. Not that he really needs them, but it doesn't hurt. So Connor Horn wins the stage, 5 bonus points, 1 playoff point. Keith Maotto going to finish second in the stage with 4 bonus points. Dylan Parker third with 3 bonus points. Jeff Wright fourth with 2 bonus points. And Alec Martinez capturing that last bonus point in the 5th position. So Dylan making up some very needed points there. As we take a look back at the standings, you can see he's down on the outside looking in. He'll be 1 point behind Jeff Wright now after that stage. Or rather, actually, he will have made up 1 point on him, so he'll still be 3 points behind as Jeff finished 4th in the stage. But Adam Cabot, Yusuf Ghali, AJ Stravato not earning points there. As the field looks like they're going to bring it down onto the pit lane. Is everybody making it into their stalls here? Doesn't look like any issues for anyone. Ben Baffert is back on the racetrack. I believe he's going to get lucky dog as Connor Horn going to win the battle off. Keith Maotto second. Dylan Parker going to come off third. But Ben Baffert, 31 laps down. Getting one of those laps back is a drop in the bucket, basically. Chris Samard is still on the pit lane. He's been there for over 16 minutes, back in the 18th position. So I think he's just attempting to get as much damage repaired as possible, but not going to be able to get up there and compete at all tonight. So we're going to cut quickly to a commercial break. We'll be right back with the green flag.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for baby skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
Big shout out to Drops, sponsor of V-Speed. Go check out their products at drops.com. There's a link in our chat we just posted there. You can also save 15% off using code DROPS15. Just use that link and it'll give us credit to say that we sent you. We would really appreciate it. We want to thank you for tuning in here tonight. Once again, appreciate everybody who's followed or subscribed here tonight. And if you haven't already and you're enjoying the race, please consider doing so. You can also grab some V-Speed merch if you want to support the channel and support the league here. You can save $5 on your purchase of $10 or more using the code VRL5. Head over to vspeedsim.com/shop. We've got hats, t-shirts, and lots of other stuff. We've also got the custom designed shirt option where we will work alongside of you and design your own custom iRacing car shirt or F1 or whatever you want to put on it. Any kind of racing themed shirt will work with you. And we also offer trophies for iRacing leagues here. So check out the website and see if there's anything that you like. Use the code VRL5 to save $5. Welcome, Blazer Pete. Thanks for joining. As we are about to get going here for the final stage, it's going to be Connor Horn, Keith Mayato on the front row, and then Dylan Parker, Jeff Wright, Alec Martinez, and AJ Stravato. Those are your first three rows. Pace car off, and we are back underway. Connor Horn, a great restart. He's going to get out in front by at least 2 car lengths over Keith Mayato, and he'll have his choice of lane to himself as Mayato trying to fight off Dylan Parker as they go nose to tail. Now 3 wide. Here comes Eli Hinton to the inside. Martinez in the middle. The 13 very strong at the start of this race. We'll see if he can get back up towards the front here. And everybody's trying to settle this out and figure out where they need to go. Keith Mayato has taken second away. Jeff Wright now fighting off Dylan Parker. Connor Horn still maintaining about a 2 or 3 car length lead over Mayato. Oh, we might have lost Alec Martinez. Oh, there he is. Down the backstretch here, Alec Martinez, your pole sitter. He led about the first 21 laps or so, but has not been able to get back up there and fight for that top spot since. Still hanging on inside the top 5 here, and these guys making some serious speed around this racetrack. 31.6 second lap for the leader, about 2 tenths faster than everyone else. So Connor Horn starting to pull away, and that is not what the field wants to see. Connor with 6 wins here this season, looking for magic number 7, and that would lock him into the finale at Chicagoland in 2 weeks. Mayato not racing in the playoffs. He's in second and showing strength here for the 2nd or 3rd week in a row. Jeff Wright had a good start to this playoffs. It's a very strong races. He won at the Roval. A little bit of a controversial circumstance with the 42 Connor Horn in that race, but that is what allowed him to advance into this round. He kind of got behind after the first race, after dominating it actually. Just messed up the fuel strategy a little bit, and he finished last in the first race of round number 1. And on the outside looking in, or on the inside just barely in front of the other drivers who are on the outside looking in, as Vincent Arthur catches the apron there. He gets a little bit sideways underneath Elliott Butler, but he'll slot into line. Here comes Jeremiah Vincent, number 8 car in the 10th position, trying to get up there and challenge for that 9th spot as he goes way up to the outside here, going to try and build that momentum. And the 5 going to throw the block on him as they make their way onto the backstretch. Here he goes to the inside. They race side by side, 9th and 10th positions. At the front, Connor Horn, 0.3 of a second out in front of Keith Mayato. Those two have completely broken away. As Jeff Wright, Alec Martinez over a second behind, and Jeff actually has a half second to Alec. We'll see if Alec learned anything from that last run. He kind of burned the tires up. Looks like we've got Chris Samard, who's out of the race here in the chat. Sorry you couldn't avoid that one, Chris. So Elliott Butler fighting alongside Vincent Arthur. The 5 was able to hold off the charge from the 8 machine, but here he goes once again trying to make a run. You can see these cars very wiggly on the exit of turn number 4. They were struggling there in practice and qualifying. A lot of drivers looping the car around, and they're all trying to hang on to it here as they race it up side by side. At the front, though, Keith Mayato has reeled in Connor Horn. That gap right around 0.2 of a second, and they are over a second out in front of Jeff Wright. Connor Horn, who comes in your points leader with a huge advantage. He's already won the stage, looking for the race win, but he has that 36 who's been itching and improving week after week. And those two have climbed through the field through this race. Jeff Wright, once again, back here now, 1.8 seconds, and I think they may be saving something. It's going to be similar to what happened with Alec Martinez, who was out in front for that early section of the run and then started to fade and actually fell back to the 5th spot by the end of the stage. And hearing from Chris Samard that was really loose in practice but did tighten up when it changed to full nighttime here in the race session. So still seems we've got a little bit of a loose condition, but not as difficult as it was, as Alec Martinez had pulled a couple tenths out in front of Dylan Parker, and you see guys 3 wide a little bit farther back. Yusuf Ghali back here in 13th, not having a great race. He had started to climb through the field. And we'll see if he's also just trying to save and get up there when it counts at the end. So we're approaching the halfway mark. There is a bonus for leading that midway lap, and Connor Horn currently looking like he's going to be the man with the most points here tonight once again. He's just going to add to that if he can lead a halfway, and Keith Mayato really wheeling that thing to keep up with him. They have absolutely driven away from the field. We go to Alec Martinez, who's now moved into the 3rd position in front of Jeff Wright. This is what it looks like from the front of his race car to those top 2. It's over 2 seconds. Go on board here with Alec. We'll see what he is experiencing here in the car. Seems very neutral. Really looks like the car wants to turn. You just can't oversteer. They are letting off quite a bit as it looks like Connor maybe a little bit of a wiggle up towards the front there. Keith Maotto all over the back bumper. Looked like the 42 had gotten out of the groove, and Keith was going to try and capitalize, but he did not get any closer than he has been. Still around 2/10 the gap. Connor Horn has led 29 laps here, which should be the most. Maotto looking for one bonus point here, at least, with leading a lap if he can. You can see him searching for clean air behind the 42. So he gets just a tiny bit lower. The car starts to push up there as he gets into the wake of the 42. And their lap time's still faster than everyone else except Elliott Butler. Back here in the 6 car, he just ran the fastest lap of anyone on the track. Adam Cabot right behind him, also a very quick lap time. He's led 3 laps here tonight, back in the 8th position. The Magic Man gonna have to come up with something here as he is losing time to the leaders. Now 3.5 seconds behind. So he looks down low on Elliott Butler. He's gonna try and at least get one of these spots back. He was so strong in the early going, battling it up with Alec Martinez. And now trying to take 7th position away. Looks like he will slide up in front of the 6th. 77 into 7th. And it's back here battling side by side. It's Jeremiah Vincent, Eli Hinton. And then behind them, Yusuf Ghali starting to make up some ground now as he slides right in front of Vincent Arthur, right behind the 88 machine of Eric Hutton. That was close. And the 54 looks like he's starting to make his way forward, and the 88 and the 5 starting to fall back the wrong way. The top 2 did lose a little bit of time that last lap, so see if Alec and the rest of the field start reeling them in. But caution on the racetrack. 54 of Yusuf Ghali, just talking about him. He goes around on the back straightaway. And yellow flag gonna fly here on the racetrack. Let's see what happened to Yusuf. We were just saying he was going the right way. And alongside the 88, working their way through 1 and 2. And it looks like I'm gonna have to take a look from another view. I really don't know if he got loose underneath. And Connor did lead that halfway point, so he's gonna get that point. 54 got loose, and the 88 just there, and he came up in front of him. Sends the 54 around. Yusuf goes into the grass. Caution came out. Heavy damage on that race car as he backs it onto the racetrack. Still on the lead lap, and he's going to try and stay out here. I don't know if he's going to attempt and lead a lap, but the one of Taylor Butcher Benjamin remains on the racetrack. He does so to try and earn that bonus point. And Yusuf coming into this race below the cut line, and this is not how he needed this race to go. A bad race last week at Bristol, and so far not looking so solid here tonight. If he can get the damage repaired to at least stay with everyone, he has a chance for a top 10, but definitely not setting himself up well to advance into the finale. And after a good, strong season, where he was in the top 3 in points, things starting to fall apart here in round 2 of the playoffs, as it's like the 32 or the 36 and the 42 gonna come around. Here comes Taylor Butcher Benjamin to the pit lane. Connor Horn will take over the lead once again. Let's see if we can get a word in with Eli Hinton if he is in the chat here. Looks like he is. He had a good strong run going early on. Let's give him a call up here. Eli Hinton, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Eli, you were up there challenging inside the top 3 for the early portion of this race. You kind of gone backwards a little bit. What's the car doing for you out there? You think you can make it up towards the front once again?
Yeah, I think I can. Anything can happen at the end of these races, especially with the short run at the end. As long as I'm up here with the clean car, I think I can challenge for it. But at the beginning, I was just running it hard, trying to have a little fun and burn off the tires. And in that last run, I was trying to save and kind of turned myself across AJ, but it's okay. We still got, 55 laps to go, so still have a chance at it.
Yeah, definitely still plenty of time for you to climb back up there. And we've seen some pretty crazy battling, a lot of crossover moves, a lot of side-by-side. You know, how's the car handling out there tonight, under the lights?
Great. This is one of the best 550 setups I've driven on iRacing, but wish the races had been during the day, but this setup's still really good. You can work the high side when you're side by side with somebody and some good passing opportunities. When everybody's going to be pushing at the end of the vid, it's going to be really good.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. Well, good luck here in the rest of the race. We hope to talk to you later.
Yep, thanks, man.
All right, that was Eli Hinton, the number 13 machine. Currently in the 7th spot. He has not led any laps here tonight. He's up 5 spots from where he started, and he was battling up inside the top 3 or 4 early on in this race, and we'll see if he can get back up there. But said the car's handling great, so that is good to hear. And tempers flaring during pace laps, we're hearing. Did see Dylan Parker down on the apron. I'm not sure what he's doing down here, just kind of messing around a little bit. One of the unique features of the Homestead Miami Speedway, it's got the access roads, which they use for IndyCar, I believe. There's also a road course here. We'll actually bring up the graphic of the track. You can kind of see some of it where they actually cut down right at the end of pit road into the infield, and then there's a big windy section that cuts through the middle of the track. I believe you come out towards turn 3, and then you cut down through off the banking between 3 and 4. It's a pretty complex configuration, but the oval pretty straightforward. A lot of fun to race here. And it's been a very competitive race tonight. We do a recap: 3 cautions, 10 lead changes, so a lot going on at the front. And consider we only have 16 cars on the lead lap. 10 lead changes, pretty significant. As it's going to be Connor Horn, Keith Mayato leading the field once again. And the 18 and the 54, apparently the ones with tempers flaring under the caution. 54, the cause of the caution, the 18 of Alec Martinez, looked like he was maybe going to start reeling the top 2 in. Maybe that's what Alec is upset about, not getting that opportunity. As they make their way out of turn 4, green flag in the air. Connor Horn gets him going. Great jump once again. But Mayato, I think, timed it a little bit better this time. He's still going to have to fight off Alec Martinez, the number 18, for the 2nd spot. And the question is, can they make it on fuel from here? It's going to be over 50 laps. At 70% fuel, I think it's going to be pretty close. Perhaps we can get some insight from one of the drivers out. Oh, Eli Hinton, big slide there. He's up in the top 5. He gained 2 spots on that restart, so big moves already. He looks to the inside of Dylan Parker. Behind him, 33 of Stravato throwing the block on Adam Cabot. Hinton goes to 4th. Dylan Parker back to 5th. And Elliott Butler now looking to the outside of the Magic Man to try and take that spot away. Stravato not able to get up in front of the 6. It looked like he was trying to throw that block. You got to be careful with making moves like that. As there goes Vincent Arthur looking to the inside of Jeremiah Vincent. As they get close to the back bumper of Cabot. And Eli hitting up the racetrack there. Looks like he lost the spot to Dylan Parker. He's all over the back bumper of Alec Martinez. The 13, though, running that high line. A really big run in the center of the corner. You can see the back end start to slip out from underneath. But he's able to carry that speed, give the 18 a big push down the front straightaway. And there goes Stravato to the outside of Dylan Parker. At the front, though, Connor Horn making it look easy. He continues to show the way. Now 4/10 of a second out in front of Mayato. Very similar to what we saw on the last restart. And Keith kind of reeled him in a couple tenths. And the rest of the field now 1.3 seconds back as Connor Horn absolutely putting the thrusters on. Starting to take off. He's hitting up to third. AJ Stravato now into the 4th position. But still a lot of time. Fuel strategy could come into play here, and tires definitely going to play a factor. Alec Martinez with a little bit of right side damage. Not sure how he got that. But he is going the wrong way right now. Fighting off Elliott Butler in the 6, who goes underneath him. And there he goes, Elliott Butler up to the 5th position, Alec Martinez. Oh, and then a big wiggle there from Jeremiah Vincent. Or actually, rather, the 9 of Dylan Parker with an issue, and then a whole bunch of cars just went underneath him. And I'm not sure if Dylan maybe trying the strategy already. Maybe saving some fuel. Maybe not, as he looks to try and take the 9th position back away. I think he just lost his momentum, and the field just kind of drove past him. At the front, though, it's Keith Mayato, Connor Horn, your top 2 breakaway, and Yusuf Ghali right there in the mix between them. And this could get ugly if the 54 gets back there and maybe has something to say for the 18. We're going to have to pay attention to what happens here. The 54 off the pace. Yusuf Ghali 2 laps down, running about 2.5 or 1.5 seconds slower than the leaders. And he's going to get caught here by Eli Hinton. AJ Stravato next one in line, and the 54 going to go up out of the way. The 18, a big wiggle there. He's under pressure from Cabot. Jeremiah Vincent, oh, almost an incident right there. The 18 dives down low. The 6 of Elliott Butler getting held up by the 54. As Ghali's picked up the pace just a little bit. He's in the draft. It's going to help him out. But he is 2 laps down. As here goes Cabot down to the inside. The 18 in the middle. So they make a little bit of contact there. The 18 and the 54. Oh, he puts him in the wall. The 54 catches the side of the 48. And the 54 going to go around. Yusuf Ghali bringing out the caution. We said there might be drama, and there was drama. It's caution back out on the racetrack. Let's go back and take another look at that. We saw it happen in real time. 18, let's actually go back a little bit earlier here. The 18 got put 3 wide by the 77 of Cabot, and I think the 77 knew the 18 was going to be a bit vulnerable right there. They make big contact twice. 54 unable to gain control, and he hits the side of Jeff Wright. 48 with a bit of right side damage. Temper's heating up here tonight, though, knowing the pressure is on. The championship is on the line for some of these drivers if they can't earn enough points here. You'll see if they all bring it in. Connor Horn gonna lead the field down the pit lane. As it looks like Jeff Wright actually gonna stay out and lead a lap before he brings it in, most likely to get damage repaired. Let's see if anybody tries any strategy. My auto already off and rolling. Here's Eli Hinton. Good pit stop, but the 42 still going to win that battle off. My auto, not a good stop. He loses a couple positions. Connor Horn going to win the battle off pit road once again. We are going to cut to commercial break and be right back.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at VSpeedSyn. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
A big shout out to NASCAR Brawl and the Brawl Network. I want to thank those guys for partnering with us here at V-Speed. Check them out wherever you get your podcasts. They've got some great episodes out already this season. We're going to run another quick 30-second paid ad break here, so don't go anywhere. All right, and we are back at the racetrack. If you want to skip the ads under caution, or those paid advertisements we occasionally run, or you enjoy the content here, please consider following or subscribing. If you subscribe, you will be able to skip those ads before the broadcast and also during when we run those. And you can also get exclusive emotes to use in chat. You can link up your Amazon Prime account to Twitch as well, and you get one free subscription to any channel on Twitch each month. So you could use that here on VSpeed or wherever you would like. We appreciate everyone who's tuned in once again. Hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast. Pace car lights are off, and we are going to be going green once again. It's been an exciting race, and Connor Horn staying out of all the mess farther back. He's been showing the way, and now Eli Hinton challenging. We'll see if he can take that top spot away from the 42, if he can time this restart. But Mayato, the big loser on that pit stop, he lost a couple spots. It also looks like Alec Martinez losing quite a few positions. Not a surprise, though, with the damage. Looked like he got that all repaired. As pace car makes the hard left-hand turn onto the pit lane. Connor Horn gets him going. Good jump by the 42, but the 13 did a pretty good job timing it along with the 33 of Stravato. And Eli Hinton still trying to hang on to second as he remains on the outside quarter panel of the 33 down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Side by side they go, but Connor Horn, clear track around him. Under 40 to go. As you can see, the 13 of Eli Hinton, he is wheeling that thing tonight, hanging on to it on that outside line. Stravato really wants that second spot away. We've seen strength from both of these race cars. We haven't seen him get up there and really challenge for the top spot just yet. And Mayato's been what appears to be the second best car. Now he's stuck in this group, kind of boxed in. The 13 way up the racetrack. That might be a problem as he rubs the wall. Mayato goes to the inside. He's going to take that position away. No issue at all. But Eli Hinton living on the edge up there, and he just crossed it a little bit. As Mayato looks to the inside, knows he's got to get going here and try and get up to second. He has any chance of hanging with Connor Horn, at least in the early part of this run. But AJ Stravato, who's also well below the cut line, he actually comes in, I believe, tied for last in the eight playoff contenders. He has been performing pretty well here. He finished just outside the points in this first stage, but starting to move the right direction now, as he's only 4/10 behind your leader, and actually starting to reel him in just a little bit. Last time by, he was about a half-tenth faster. And it looks like he is continuing to close this lap. The gap now down to under 0.3 of a second. And perhaps the 42 saving a little bit, knowing how quick he has been here on these last couple of runs, or maybe everybody else just picking up the pace, knowing that those laps are winding down. Mayato all over the back bumper of Elliott Butler. Eli Hinton right there as well. The top five have kind of created a small gap out in front of Adam Cabot. He finds himself in the 6th position. The Magic Man starting to go the right direction again as well. As Mayato, big move down to the inside there. He goes by the 6th machine of Elliott Butler. So move the 36 back into the 3rd position. Stravato going to try and hold off the 36. He has reeled in Connor Horn just a little, but they continue to mirror their lap times. That time by Connor Horn about a 10th and a half faster. Take a look back here at Alec Martinez. He's up a couple spots from the restart, but he's got a bit of right side damage. 54 Yusuf Ghali back on the pit lane. And that car absolutely destroyed. Not sure if he wrecked it again, but he is going to be in for a long time there on the pit lane. Jeff Wright, who we saw got damage fixed, he's struggling a little bit with that race car. He brought it back on the pit lane a second time under caution for an extended stop. He's trying to get back up in the mix here now, 8.8 seconds back. But you can see just how loose that race car is. He is sliding all over the place in that 48 machine. This has been a bit of a nightmare for the 48 this second half of the race. He is just slinging that car around the corners, but really struggling here. It's the 42 of Connor Horn showing the way, 0.2 of a second now. The gap back to AJ Stravato. And how much would it mean for that 33 to win tonight and lock himself in, going from literally tied for last in the standings in the playoffs to locked in? That would be huge if it was him or another driver on the outside looking in. It would completely blow up the playoff picture. Stravato and Ghali came in tied 8 points below the cut line. Jeff Wright 4 points above. Dylan Parker and Adam Cabot both 4 points below. And right now things are set to flip-flop quite a bit as Alec Martinez not having the run that he needs. Things are going to be pretty wild when we settle out here tonight. And we're approaching lap 100 as you can see the 42 of Connor Horn still trying to break that draft. And the 33 going right with him, still staying right around 0.2 behind. And Keith Maato about a car length and a half back from him. As they're still pretty much single file. There's a couple side-by-side battles as Eli Hinton looks to the inside of Elliott Butler. That battle for 4th and 5th starting to rage on. But Butler able to hold him off. Here comes Dylan Parker to the inside of Jeremiah Vincent. We saw Dylan drop at the start of this run. He dropped back to around the 10th position, and now he's climbing back towards the top 5, and he has shown some good speed here tonight. He actually led 8 laps earlier in the race. He drove up and took the lead away, only to be chased down by Connor Horn, but Dylan definitely showing some playoff strength here, showing that he's not all out of it just yet. Finished 3rd in stage number 1, and right now running in that 7th position. We'll see if he can get up there, challenge for the lead once again. Last time by Stravato about 7/100ths faster, as he has closed that gap down to about 1/10. He's finding something that works, starting to push that car a little bit harder. Connor Horn slips up out of the groove there. The 33 closes the gap just a little bit more. The gap now 1 car length between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So dive down into turn 1 once again. Maato really strong on that low line. He gets right to the back bumper, but not able to carry the momentum down low as the 33 gets back in the throttle. Adam Cabot looking to the inside of Elliott Butler. That's going to be for the 5th position. And Butler going the wrong way now that things have started to settle out. He's got Dylan Parker all over the back bumper. The 6 working kind of a middle groove. Everybody else, at least the 77 and the 9 around him, working a slightly lower groove. Spiato took a peek to the inside of Stravato up there. Not able to make it work. I think Keith knows how strong he's been here tonight. Knows he can get up there and challenge for this thing with Stravato seemingly out of nowhere. Up here in the mix with right around 20 laps to go. Can AJ Stravato win this thing? Who do you think is going to win as we're closing in on the end? The top three have kind of broken away a little bit from Eli Hinton, who had a very solid race here tonight. This is what it looks like from the front of Adam Cabot. He's led 3 laps here tonight in the 5th position. The top 4 all right around a second the margin from 1st to 5th. And Dylan Parker just a small gap back from the 77. He's once again moving the right way. I think he's actually been one of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car on the racetrack the last few laps. He's closing the margin to the leaders. As Connor Horn, not the fastest that time by. It was Dylan Parker and Adam Cabot, your 2 fastest cars. So they are making some noise here in 5th and 6th position. We'll take a look this time at the line. That time by Dylan Parker, once again the fastest car on the racetrack. Connor Horn next fastest, and then AJ Stravato nearly the same exact lap time as Connor Horn, and they're right around a 10th and a half between these top 3 cars. Spiato really strong in the center of this corner, but he can't seem to keep the car down. He gets a little bit more momentum by running up high, as here goes Cabot to the inside of Hinton for the 4th position, the 77. The Magic Man starting to make some magic happen, as he does clear the 13. Nice move there out of turn number 2. He's going to get a big push down the back straightaway, and that's going to help him a lot as they go into turn number 3. And it is anybody's race at this point. I really don't know how things are going to progress. If the 42 is going to lose the tire at all, or if any of these guys behind him are going to start to fall off. It looks like everyone very even right now. Connor Horn running a little bit higher groove than the cars behind him. And Stravato, a big run out of turn 2. Here he goes to the inside. No, he's going to tuck back in line. As he looks down on the inside, Connor Horn shuts the door. That's going to cause the 33 a little bit of an arrow push there, and they're both a little loose. That's going to allow Maiato to get right up in this picture. We have Alistair Skye cheering on Adam Cabot, who's up into the 4th position, closing in on those top 3. He was faster than all of them last time by. And we have AJ Stravato also being cheered for by Majin Mingo. But here goes Keith Maiato looking to the outside. He's almost there. The 33 shuts the door. Here goes Maiato to the inside. I don't think he's going to have the momentum. So 33 through the block. We've seen him do that a few times this race. Very dangerous to do that. You're at the mercy of the driver behind you, and Keith Maiato that time avoiding contact, but could have been a little bit messy if he hadn't lifted there. But Stravato still hanging tough, just 2/10 between himself and Connor Horn. Taking a look a little farther back, Vincent Arthur, Alec Martinez, Elliott Butler battling it out here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Alec Martinez starting to go the right direction. this is the battle for second as Mayato has finally gotten the run. Can he complete the pass as they go down in 3 and 4? At 33 trying to pinch him down there. He goes up the racetrack a little sideways. They're going to remain side by side down the front straightaway. Connor Horn loving what he's seeing here. His laps winding down. Anytime you've got drivers fighting it out in your mirror, there's a good thing. Is Keith Mayato going to complete that pass? He slides up in front of the 33. Here comes the 77 of Cabot closing in. He has closed the gap quite a bit. Chewed off about 2/10 that last lap, so he is there. And now Keith Mayato, a big run into turn 3. He's all over the back bumper of Connor Horn, who's starting to struggle in that 42 machine. And Dylan Parker also in the mix. Look at that move by Cabot as he dives down in 1 and 2. He's going to try and slip on past the 33, and he will. So Stravato going the wrong way. Everyone around him going the right way as there goes Dylan Parker to the inside. The 33 just surrendering positions at this point. And I don't think he has the tires left. I think he cooked them up a little bit, and he's got a little right rear damage from an earlier incident potentially. So Mayato was on the back bumper, but he's lost touch by a couple car lengths. We'll see if he can get back up there. It's going to be 10 to go next time by. And the top 5 still all within 7/10 of a second of each other. We have a 3-way tie as they run to advance. So it's going to be interesting if Connor does come away with the win. He's going to lock himself in. That'll leave just 2 more spots, and we're going to have basically everybody tied, eligible to advance. As Mayato starting to reel in the 42 again, the gap just 2 car lengths. Cabot still right around 4/10 back. Last time by, looks like Keith Mayato was the fastest on track, just a couple hundredths faster. Not going to be enough for him to take this away, I don't think. So the closer he gets, the harder it's going to be. Because aerodynamics really do play a role when you're right on the back bumper of another race car. Keith's starting to work a little higher groove, maybe going to try and carry some momentum through these corners. He's got to pick a different line than the 42 of Connor Horn. Connor goes to the middle. Keith goes just a half groove lower, and Adam Cabot right along with him. It's interesting because Connor looks like he's so stable some of these times around the corner, and then other times it just wiggles. He loses a bit of momentum. But then other times he's a 10th faster than everybody else on track. I just don't know what the car is doing for him. It just seems inconsistent. As that gap now 1.5 car lengths between himself and Mayato. Keith looks down low, trying to fake a move there, and he's all over the back bumper, but so hard to carry speed, and laps winding down. He loses a car length and a half, 2 car lengths as they make their way down the back straightaway. And there's your top 5 battling. Stravato starting to fade back here now, 8/10 behind. And the top 4, oh, Mayato, big slide right there. Doesn't cost him any time somehow. And Adam Cabot throwing a block on Dylan Parker. Dylan made a move, but the 77 threw the block just like Stravato was doing earlier. And the 77 starting to struggle now. Here comes Dylan Parker, big run to the inside. Dylan hasn't gotten a win yet this year. But what a time it would be to win one. As he just barely clears the 77. Now into third goes Dylan Parker. And the top 2 have broken away. 5 laps to go. Connor Horn looking for win number 7. Keith Maotto looking for win number 2. After the runner-up finished last week, he's looking for a little bit more, and Dylan Parker searching for that first win of the year. He's had a great race tonight. The best race that I think we've seen him have on the broadcast here as he is sliding it out of turn number 4. The gap now about 2.5 car lengths first to second, and the same back to third. 4 laps to go. And Adam Cabot not out of this thing yet. He's still putting pressure on the back bumper of Dylan Parker. But everybody having trouble keeping up with Connor Horn. He's dominated this race like he's done so many this season. 87 laps led. Once he got to the lead, he has not surrendered it. He hasn't been able to pull away from Maotto. The gap's still 2 car lengths, 0.2 of a second as we got 3 to go. And Maotto really pressuring the 42 now. Can he get to the back bumper, get him loose, and try and take this thing away? 1 car length between first and second as he pulls the draft down the front straightaway. Half a car length into turn 1. 2 laps to go. Maotto's got to set himself up here as Connor Horn still holding on to that lead. So stable out of turn number 2. The gap 1 car length as they've broken away. Dylan Parker too far back right now. Thank you for the follow, Big Trevster. Coming to the white flag out of turn number 4. Connor Horn trying to hang on for dear life. Keith Maotto pushing the issue. The gap 2 car lengths now. And white flag in the air. Connor Horn finished on the podium last week. He's had such a fantastic playoff run. I believe 4 straight podiums, in Maotto strong here in the last few races. He might come up a little short as the gap 3 car lengths going down into turn number 3. Gonna give it everything he's got here, but Connor Horn out in front. I think he's gonna hang on to it. Connor Horn is gonna win at Homestead, Miami, and lock himself in the VRL finale. Connor Horn, your winner here. 91 laps led. What a race as he holds off Keith Maotto. The gap just 1.5 tenths. And the top 5 all within 1 second. So fantastic battle at the front of the field here that we just saw among all of these drivers. Definitely some talent on display tonight. Connor Horn, win number 7. As he burns it down here on the front stretch. Congratulations to Connor Horn. We're going to cut to commercial break. Get an interview with our top 3 drivers. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with VSpeed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at VSpeedSim. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
And back at the racetrack now, Connor Horn, your winner, going to be coming up to the booth here.
Very nice.
Connor Horn, this is Adam, the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Connor, win number 7 in the books here at Homestead, Miami. You lock yourself into the finale in a couple weeks at Chicagoland. How's it feel to do that here tonight?
Well, everything that happened with the other people around me in points is great. It's great. Really got that out of the way, so I don't have to worry about anything crazy happening next week. It was a really fast car, really fun setup. We were able to move around at least 2 or 3 lanes, which is hard to do on the tire that iRacing has now, so that was good. We saw a little bit of multi-groove racing that highline in 1 and 2. It was okay for the most part, and it was usable. And after that first quick yellow, I got tires I only got tires because everyone else pit behind me. I thought people would stay out with me, but it worked out. I was able to get through the field. All of them burnt their tires while I was trying to save, and I was just trying to get the lead and pretty much start blocking for the lead if I got up to the lead, because I didn't know when the stage was. So luckily I won that. I was able to stay up front for them. But I think the rest of the race, Keith was really fast. If the run went a bit longer on the one really long run and that final run to the end, he had something for me. He had something figured out on a way long run that I couldn't. He was really good. But luckily I was able to hold him off, and had a really strong finish between us two. So just good to get the win.
Yeah, definitely an entertaining finish. Keith was kind of coming from a little farther back on that restart. He came from the 4th or 5th position, so he had a bit of work to do to get up to you. But you definitely had the speed, and really nobody could touch you other than Keith. You were always a 10th or 2 out in front, so definitely had the speed here tonight. And you collect another win at 7 wins this season. I believe you've finished in the podium every single race in the playoffs. So what does that mean for your confidence with the next couple races?
It really helps that I've gotten that good. Like, I've gotten the wins, so I really haven't had to worry about points. But even if I wasn't getting the wins, I'd be in a good spot regardless. Just happy that I have no stress on. Nothing to stress about for the next week, and I could just really focus on trying to maybe practice for Chicago a little bit more and really get dialed in with the tire saving and the setup there, hopefully. So, yeah, just, really happy about all that. The finishes I've been getting, I've been up front pretty much every race. The only track I really struggled at was Dover, and the pit strategy carried me there at Dover. So, yeah, I'm just really excited about just not having to worry about any other races for this round.
Yes, sir, and that load off the shoulder is definitely huge as you go into next week. And we're going to be at Phoenix next week, so what are your thoughts on that track?
It's a really fun track with the, obviously the small blade and a bigger motor. It can get really, it can get spread out there, and it's at least 2 grooves there. The high line comes in every now and then. The dog leg's obviously a interesting factor going into that race, and, pit strategy can go any sorts of ways here. So Newman went here in 2017 with no tires, so you really never know what surprises could happen next week with a lot of people needing a win or else they're out. So luckily I don't have to deal with all that, and maybe I can run up front there, maybe deny someone a chance at the championship. We'll see when we get there.
Yes, sir. It's going to be interesting to see if you can get another one next week. But you take home the victory. 91 laps led after starting on the front row. Anybody want to give a shout out to for tonight's victory?
Just shout out to you guys, V-Speed, putting on a really good show. Reggie Ortega, the main league owner, really he got the set. They all got the setup dialed in. Mark Emerson, a few others there that are admins were able to get the setup really dialed in. Really fun, multi-grooved. Jeremy E. Miller, my teammate, he had an unfortunate run in there in the very beginning of the race, but that is what it is. Unfortunate that had to happen. He had a little bit of speed, especially on the short run. So just really happy with the result today.
Yes, sir. Well, congrats again on the win. Go celebrate. We'll catch you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was Connor Horn, your race winner here tonight. Let's go to second place, Mr. Keith Mayato. Keith Mayato, this is Adam the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
Well, Keith, it's back-to-back runner-up finishes for you here tonight. You started all the way back in 16th, and you found your way through the field, and you were right on the door knocking on the 42, and just not quite enough. But give us a rundown of your race and, maybe what you had to do differently.
Well, the whole race was actually going pretty well, riding behind Connor there. I think a couple stints. I wasn't really driving too hard, just pretty much trying to stay within his toe. And, of course, I screwed up on the last pit stop, and that put me back a couple positions. And I think that's what just caused me to wear out my stuff. I was in, behind another 2 cars, and it was a little tighter. And then I started driving a little harder just to get by those guys. And then I just tried too hard to get past Connor. I should have been a little more patient, which I did with 3 laps ago. And it came to me, but you're just so tempted to just get on the throttle and create this run. And it was just too difficult to do that. It would just snap sideways. You had to be so patient on throttle.
Yeah, it definitely looked like tire conservation came into play, early in this race, and then definitely on that long last run. You were definitely mastering it. We saw, cars like the 33 Estravato start to go backwards, and then you were able to leapfrog everybody there in front of you and get right to the back bumper of the 42, but just not quite enough. But how'd the car feel overall tonight? We heard from other drivers that they had a lot of fun.
Oh, it was definitely a blast. It's finally nice to drive a car that you had to actually use some throttle control and not just hold it wide open and just breathe a little bit on corner entry. So it was great. It was almost like running maybe like the old Gen 6 package, right? You just easy in and just control your throttle out, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, and whoever managed the right rear the best was able to pretty much keep it up front.
Yes, sir, and that was really you and Connor hanging on to those top 2 spots for the majority of this race. You come up just a little bit short, but back-to-back, runner-ups, definitely a good confidence booster, and you're definitely on the right trajectory here with some solid finishes in the last few weeks. We go to Phoenix next week, so what are your thoughts on that racetrack?
I actually like it a lot, especially with the A pack or the A car. Drives pretty good. I'm assuming they're gonna probably do something with the setup to make it a little more, fun to drive. So because usually the fixed package is pretty tight. So I'm actually not too sure if tire conservation matters there, but it seems like with this package, most places you do. If you overdrive it, you're usually gonna fall to the back.
Yeah, that can be a tough track for a lot of people, but if you know how to get around there, you can really have a step up on everybody else. But we'll look to see if you can capture a win there next week. You've had a couple great runs in a row and definitely have the momentum on your side. But you start 16th, finish 2nd. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yep, shout out to yourself, everyone at V-Speed, sponsors Renegade Coffee Bar, everyone at VRL, and congrats to Connor on the win.
Awesome, Keith. Well, congrats on 2nd place. A couple great races in a row for you here, and we will catch you next week.
Thanks, Adam. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. That was Keith Mayato, 2nd place finisher here tonight at Homestead. Let's go to Dylan Parker, 3rd place finisher Dylan, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Dylan, you had a fantastic run here tonight. I think the best that we've seen from you on the broadcast so far. You started in the top 5. You went up there and took the lead away. You led 8 laps here tonight. You come home with the P3 finish. Give us a rundown of your race here tonight and just how you're feeling after this result.
Well, I came into this race with the same mindset of last one. Finish the race, because every race I'm fast. Something happens between the start and the finish that just takes me out. So I wasn't gonna come out here in this race to try and be a hero, lead every single lap. I was just wanting to get a good finish, get the points, and go to the next week. So throughout the night, I was just being patient, saving my tires. I was trying to get the stage points. I saw a chance to get it, and I tried, but Connor, he took it from me like every other week. So it's to be expected at this point. He just saved his tires a bit better than me, and I took third, just points. And that second run, there was a little bit of tempers flaring with some drivers. I don't know if you saw that. And I lost a lot of track position because I said, I'm not going to get caught up in that. I want to finish. And turns out, it's probably a good thing I done that, because they made contact and took out 2 other drivers. One was on the bubble. So that helped me, but it's a dumb situation. And that last run, it was, obviously it's pretty good. I saved my tires pretty well after coming back from 11th. And, after passing Adam, he didn't make it easy for me. After I got by him, there's just not much I could do. It was a single lane track, just stuck behind Keith. He was pretty fast. I was hoping he'd get beside Connor, slow them both down, let me catch up, but just didn't do it.
Yeah, definitely was an exciting finish. The top 5 all really within 1 second, and at one point you guys were basically all nose to tail. And we had noticed, throughout the race, you had the speed, and you had been saving tires a bit better, which is not something we always notice at the other tracks. But tonight you had that down to a science, and you, along with those top 2, were really the cars to beat, I think. So you got to feel confident coming away with a P3. I think your best result here on any of our broadcasts. So that's definitely good for momentum.
Yeah.
Here. But
not a good thing, but also at least I'm finally, finishing.
Yeah, and this is huge for your point situation, like you mentioned. You came in 4 points below the cut line. I believe you're gonna pull out in front of Adam Cabot. I think you may take over the final position in the points there. Provisionally until next week, where we're gonna have to finish it up. But we do head to Phoenix next week. So, what are your thoughts on going out there?
Phoenix is one of my weird tracks. It depends on what day it is for me. To be honest, sometimes I can go there and I can be really fast. I can save the right rear amazing, and then sometimes I go in there and I'm not too good. It really just all depends.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky track, and it depends on the setup that these guys are going to build. But you put on a great show for us here tonight. It was a lot of fun to watch. We look to see if you can follow up with another solid run out there. So you start 5th here tonight, lead 8 laps, finish P3. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for the podium?
I'd like to thank TI Racing, LMCgear.com, Reggie, and all the admins putting on this great race. It's probably top 2 favorite leagues that race every week. It's competitive and really fun. I'd thank you for doing a great broadcast, and I think that's about it.
Awesome, Dylan. Well, congrats on the P3, and we will catch you next week.
Hope to.
All right. That was Dylan Parker, P3 here tonight. He's definitely happy about that. Good, solid finish from him here. As your winner once again, Connor Horn. Let's go through the rest of our results in tonight's race before we head out. 4 cautions here tonight, 12 lead changes. Connor Horn dominated the second half of this race and ends up coming away with the win. Keith Mayato was all over the back bumper in those final few laps, but not quite enough. He comes home second place. Dylan Parker, P3. Adam Cabot, nice strong run in 4th position. Going to be good for him in the standings. AJ Stravato going to be 5th position here tonight. Eli Hinton comes home 6th. Vincent Arthur, good recovery to 7th. He didn't have the best race here tonight, but probably about the best he ran all race is where he ended up. Alec Martinez comes home 8th. Jeremiah Vincent 9th. And Elliot Butler rounding out the top 10. In 11th, it was Eric Hutton. 12th was Taylor Butcher Benjamin. 13th, Lane Sulfridge. 14th, Lyle Sulfridge. Jeff Wright with a rough night here. He's going to have some trouble in the points after tonight's race. Comes home 15th. Yusuf Ghali out of the race early. He finishes in 16th. Ben Bafford 17th. Chris Samard 18th. And Jeremy Miller rounding out the field here tonight in 19th position. And that is going to do it for the race tonight. We want to thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast once again. You can check us out on all of these social media platforms that you see on your screen, over on Facebook where we post announcements for each and every broadcast. Also over on Twitter and Instagram, you can find those same announcements. You can find us here weekly on Twitch. You can also find us on YouTube at VSpeed Media where we post race replays from previous weeks. So we're going to be putting up the Bristol race here this evening. You'll be able to go back and check that out. Fantastic finish between Vincent Arthur and Keith Mayato. You're not going to want to miss that one. So go on over there, check it out. If you didn't see it last week, it will be up there later tonight. And want to thank everyone who followed and subscribed here tonight. Appreciate it so much. We're going to raid another streamer here. Let's see who we've got. We will find somebody, so give us just a few moments and stay with us so we can raid everybody together. But we are going to be here tomorrow night as well with the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series. You won't want to miss that race. That's going to be at 8:25 p.m. Eastern. So come back tomorrow night for some more iRacing action right here on VSpeed. Thank you so much and have a great night.